Welcome to Intimacy Evolution with Brianna and Mark Carey, where they discuss desire, intimacy, and how to embrace the changes within your relationship. Brianna has been a sexual health educator for 14 years and is currently working as a relationship and intimacy coach. Mark is a licensed professional counselor and has been running his own private practice for 6 years. Together, they have 2 young kids and have dealt with the many ebbs and flows during their 15 years together. Intimacy evolves over time, and that's okay. Let's talk about it. Welcome back for another episode. This is our part 2 of our couples retreat. So little recap. It's the end of our intentional date night. Well, coming up to the end.
Yeah.
We left off talking about the intentional date night and the amazing massage that Mark was giving me because we had the massage room, and we left you hanging with a crunchy spot that we had to work through in our date night.
yes. You know, we're doing, it was very intentional. We had all the things set up. We're going through the massage, got massage oil, all that type of stuff. And then at some point there was a little bit of a conversation about, sex and what was going to happen next. Which of course I was very much, prepared for and ready for after all that.
Yeah. And I constricted. I started getting a little embarrassed, a little anxious, very uncomfortable because we're in this room and there's people, not people around us. Like we had curtains, the doors were locked, like nobody was going to come in. They had nice music playing out in the living room. It was
loud.
It was loud. Like literally, yeah. It's fine. But there's people out there. And
people exist in the world.
People. And I'm like, we can't make noises. They're going to know we're having sex like that. And he's like, yes, that is the point of it's for us to connect and, be with our person. And they are very aware of what is going. And also this wasn't our massage table.
Yeah.
It had a sheet on it. Like clearly it's going to be cleaned and everything. But I was just,
I put it in the washer and dryer afterwards. Anyway,
but I was very just in my head and
after being so in your body,
I can already feel like my heart is still taking me back. But yeah, so we had to work through some crunchiness. And, we just had to talk through it. And again, it was intentional. So Mark was prepared with the lube and the toy and, just made it about us connecting and yeah.
So,
and it ended up being very nice. It was very nice. And,
well, we use the toy on you and then, I just focused on you and you focused on you. And, and so that was great. And then we moved on after that. And, I highly recommend massage tables. They are a great apparatus. We put one in our Amazon cart immediately after. At least I did. That was more of a me thing, but the...
very versatile.
Yes. The angles and the difference. It's just
different than a bed.
Definitely. Yeah.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
Every time.
So we had a great evening. The intentional date night was wonderful. Really enjoyed it. And, things are going to come up. The point is to communicate to your partner. Like, hey, I'm feeling uncomfortable right now. How can we work through this together? What's needed?
Well, and definitely, and as a partner in that supportive role in that situation, it's a challenge because, the initial reaction is like, no, it'll be okay. Let's just do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's too forceful. That's not going to be effective. That's not, necessarily supportive. That's pushing. That's adding pressure, which is the opposite of what's going to work. And so to pull back and say, okay, what do you need?
What do you need?
What
How can I help
Yep.
you? Which, definitely helped me relax and get back into the moment and enjoy the experience. So, yeah, it was very nice.
And, sometimes when we feel those things, they don't necessarily have to make sense, but we're feeling that way. I mean, you were feeling that way. We've never had sex with someone else around. Like, we don't have kids or anything
It's different. It's different.
Hotel room. There's even people next door.
That's different.
It's all different. I see. Okay.
Anywho, let's get into Saturday.
Okay.
So Saturday was a packed day. We had our Erotic Blueprint workshop. And so we had Kayce and then Kimi Inch. I don't know Kayce's last name, but I will tag them both in our show notes.
Yeah.
So Kayce, actually, got her certification through Jaya, who was the creator of Erotic Blueprint. And so she took us through it even deeper and talked about characteristics, and then also talked about the shadows of each one, which we covered in our other episode about the erotic blueprints. And we just got to explore that some more, and then tied it in with Kimi Inch, who is a professional dominatrix.
Yes.
And her credentials are just astounding. Like, she has been a professional dominatrix for 20 years. And then she realized that there's a lot of healing that is done through BDSM, kink, things like that. So she actually went back, and I think she got her master's in psychology therapy.
Yeah,
and she trained in somatics. So she is able, you are more familiar with the somatic therapy and things like that. So touch on how she incorporates that into her work.
Well, and she calls it conscious kink.
Yes, conscious kink.
Because it's very aware and conscious. It's about connecting, and helping and what she facilitates is a connection for the other person with their own body, with their experience, with how they're feeling. And so, we talked about a lot of stuff. But what she demonstrated first was just the connection and creating a safe space and using kind of energy and creating an energy bubble around someone, and to continue to feel, how their body feels, watch how they breathe, see how they're reacting, to take as ways to kind of know if she's going, in the, I don't know how to say it, but just kind of gauge where the person's at,
where they're at,
and to
holding that space for them to continue to feel into themselves and the experience. And so, I know that it can be taboo. There can be some negative connotations when people hear BDSM and kink and dominatrix and things like that. And it's, oh my gosh.
Well, and
so much more.
It's often portrayed that way, right?
Yeah.
And, in the BDSM community, consent is so important, and it's established for absolutely everything before anything happens. And so it's not some, domineering thing. It's we use words follower and leader and all this other stuff. The person who's the follower is actually the one setting the boundaries for the leader, saying, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, more, less.
And the leader is there to hold space for that person, create the safety, and lead them through an experience that the follower is asking of them.
Yeah. I love how you said that.
Well, thank you.
And so, kind of going along that, like she's presenting all this, and then she's like, okay, we're going to do some impact play, essentially, and talking about what that looks like, how to do that, ask for a volunteer. Someone, of course, was very excited and raised their hand.
Yeah.
And so
this is taking me back. I'm getting emotional already just thinking about it.
yes. And we'll get to that point.
Yeah. It is so beautiful.
So she's bent over and Kimmy's spanking.
So create the environment. At first, Kimmy, they stood about, 4 or 5 feet apart maybe. And they just locked eyes. And Kimmy created this safety bubble with the energy. They got in sync with each other, their energy, their breathing. And, everything Kimmy did, she asked for consent or where she was at before.
Rating scales and stuff like that.
Yeah. And so then she, gets her into a position and asks her to lean over on a table.
Yep.
And Kimmy was also demonstrating different ways that we can incorporate this into our play. So like using your hand and using your full palm, using just the fingers for different sensations. And she's talking about that. And again, asking for rating. How was that? And so she was kind of teaching while, demonstrating. And so, she was using her hand and, go ahead.
So, and this was, happening and, everybody's watching, so intently.
Yeah.
And at one point kind of repositions, the wife and says, look your husband in the eyes.
Yeah. So turned the table, had her looking directly at her husband.
And proceeds to spank her.
Yeah.
But it was the energy in the room was amazing. There was not one person that wasn't either crying or tearful.
Yeah.
Because it was just so beautiful. These two people experiencing this together. It was like
this connection of them and how somebody is facilitating something for them. Like it wasn't about him watching his wife getting spanked by somebody else. It was about the safety that was created, the experience, she asked him after, how did you feel watching your wife get spanked in front of a room full of people? And he was just like almost speechless at first. And he's like, I'm just so proud of her. And then we all just lost it because she never would have done that beforehand, and he explained more about their experiences and stuff like that. But again, it was just a beautiful experience to see the connection that can be created when it is done with consciousness, with intentionality, and to facilitate closeness.
Yeah, it was like none of us existed as they were looking at each other.
Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
But then we kind of broke out and we had opportunities to kind of try it out and play with it with each other and, spank each other. And there's a great story in here that I want to share. Not about, I guess the point of the story is everyone has different experiences and they like different things, and that's okay. And when you're in a room like that, you're unintentionally seeing other people's experiences, and none of this is sexual by any means.
No.
But there's people around us, and you can kind of overhear like they want this or they want that, or and Kimmy's walking around helping facilitate, and at one point, like right next to us, while Bree was spanking me, another husband was bent over and Kimi came around and was helping facilitate that. And she asked at one point, like, she gets him pretty good. She smacks his ass.
Well, asked the wife and asked him, would you like me to help, and consent. And again, yeah. So she comes in and says, would you like...
You have to go back to that.
Well, yeah.
That's when I say help facilitate. That was all established. Yes. Yes, that happened. But so and she smacks him pretty good, and she says, "How was that? Rate that." And he said like something like a 2 or 1 or 3, I don't know.
Yeah. And
she said, "What do you want it to be?"
Mm-hmm.
And he said something to the effect of, "I want to feel alive." He wanted to be spanked very hard, and it was just it just stuck out in my mind because it wasn't a rating. It was just
make me feel.
Make me feel, make me get in my body, make me feel, make me enjoy this, that type of thing.
Yeah,
it was just it was really good.
Yeah, that was fun. And then after that, we had
well, there was a second part of that.
Okay.
The flogging part.
Okay.
Right. There's also a demonstration of flogging.
Yeah.
And we didn't get a chance to try that out afterwards, but we got to watch that.
Yeah.
Some of us.
I was flogged.
My wife was flogged by a professional dominatrix, and I got to watch.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I was very excited. And so the fun thing with that, because like, if you've never played with floggers, there's a variety of them, but a lot of times they sound louder than they are.
They're really loud, and the impact's
I was standing up there, and she's getting going, and she's like, "Okay, what would you rate that?" And I was like, "I don't know, like a 4." And everybody's like, I could hear them like, like, because it sounded so loud.
Oh yeah.
And then she's like, it hits, sounds, the thud sounds a lot more than that actually is. So sometimes the sound can help people, and add to the experience. And so that was fun.
Yeah. And using all our senses to get in our body is what we're talking about here, where we want to experience the experience and be there and not be in our own head, and sounds and feelings and sensations and what we see and any other sense aromas and stuff can definitely help people like candles and all the other stuff. So the sound is definitely a very and a lot of people describe it as something like they hear the sound, they feel it, it's not necessarily painful, but they're like, oh yeah, that sound was just made. I'm doing this. I'm taking this. Yeah. And there's like, it's just funny because there's like this pride of the sound almost.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. And now I can say that I was flogged by a dom. So
yes, you can. It is true.
Yeah. So after that, we had our rope expert come in, Rena Trevi. She does shibari. And if you've looked into rope play or anything shibari, a lot of times they can be very intricate and detailed, beautiful. Art. Yeah. But this, again, was more about being in the body, the experience, letting go. And so it wasn't about the knots per se and the intricate designs. It was about being held in the space for you to just let go.
Yeah. And so, it's not necessarily about being tied up and like you said, the ties and making it look a certain way. It's about, again, creating an experience. Yeah. And so
allowing movement, whatever energy is in your body, to be moved. And so we incorporated the elements. So, you'd sit with your partner and you'd do some breathing, you would, close your eyes and you just allow them to move you. And so you'd start tying one hand up, and then however you want to, secure that to the body. And, you know, so there was wind, water, fire, and earth or grounding. So grounding would be like adding pressure, squeezing, pressing down. Fire would be almost like quick movements, like, I don't want to say jerking, but like kind of like, you know,
you could say it that way.
But yeah, so like allowing that. And then, you know, water or wind, or water would be like, you know, light touch on the body,
flowy movements,
like, and then wind, you can actually use breath too. So breath, you could use your hot breath, or fire, you'd use your hot breath. Wind, you could do like the light blowing. And so just, again, creating this experience for you to feel safe.
And so demonstration, then we got to do it on each other. Tie a hand, wrap them up with the rope, make them feel very secure, and then go through the elements.
Yeah.
And then there was...
Can I share this though? So I went first, you tied me up first and did everything. And then we switched and I got to do it on you. And you were so just relaxed and in it. And
yes, I know where you're going now.
And we got to this point where I was like, you know, you're kind of laying in my lap and, you know, you're just so in the zone. But then I couldn't get you up. I couldn't get you back up to unwrap you. And so I felt bad because I had to bring you kind of out of the experience a little bit to like push you up. But yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like you're sitting, so you have no leverage.
Yeah, no.
And I'm like dead weight in your lap.
And I'm like, how can I do this? So I'm like gently trying to maneuver him. I'm like, okay, if I can just like get under and push. And yeah, it was funny. So
yeah. And it actually made for a talking point afterwards. Raina kind of like said, hey, you know, I do this with, you know, people that are much, she's not that big.
Oh yeah, she's tiny.
People that are much bigger, and so this is what you have to do.
Yeah, she showed us how to maneuver next time. And
yes.
Because then she did take a volunteer, or she took some shares after. And one of the shares, he spoke about how he was in it and enjoyed everything, but once his wife started to loosen the ropes, he became very angry. And so she's like, okay, would you like to go into that a little bit more? And, you know, asked him if he would want to volunteer. And she actually did an experience with him.
Yeah.
And again, so beautiful just to see somebody embrace their vulnerability. And go into it. And we were talking about it afterwards, like, oh yeah, then she did this. And he's like, wait, what? Like he was just so in it. He didn't even know what was going on.
Well, and at one point, she like was using her nails on his stomach or something. And he didn't realize what that was because he's so far in it. He like, you don't know what's hands and what's not, or what's moving you, or how you're being moved.
Tools
like,
that we could use and stuff.
Or just the fact that it's a sensation and that's all you realize. Not how it's made, but just the experience. So that was pretty intense and very wonderful.
Yeah. So again, we will share links to all of these amazing facilitators. That way you can, go and look them up and maybe start incorporating some things into your relationship or just exploring some more.
Yeah. And just, and then the biggest thing for us, our takeaway from all that is we've heard about all of this stuff, but not in this way, not in this conscious experience way. More in the socially portrayed, way that doesn't seem as connected. And so it was just wonderful to be able to have a different framework for bondage or BDSM or something like that, to have as an experience together and to use or incorporate however we want.
Right. Yeah. So then after that we had dinner and we got ready for our sexy expression party. And I think Jordan coined this bioenergetic movement. Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's what he said.
That's what he said. Okay.
Jordan makes up all sorts of
Jordanisms.
words and sayings and whatnot.
But yeah, it was very intentional and conscious in guiding us through movement and dance and emotions. And yeah, the living room turned into a dance party. We pushed all of the furniture out of the way. They had lights and music that kind of took us through different phases. And
we played with the archetypes, masculine and feminine, and we just were free to dance however and move through the space and dance at one point with each other and you and I, but also other people. In this atmosphere. And there was a time where, like, one of the most memorable times of the dance party was me and another husband were dancing together.
Yeah.
And it was just the song and we were just vibing, and it was good.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah. And again, for me, this is a time in my life where I just felt so I just lost the word. Why do I lose words when I'm trying to talk?
Only on the podcast.
I know. It was very liberating. I didn't feel self-conscious.
Yeah.
I was not like, oh, I can only move a certain way, or what are they going to think? Like, there was none of that. Totally just in it and embracing what felt good in that moment. And oh my gosh, it was just so amazing. And again, after everything that day, just writing everything that, that wave of embracing your energy. And I think we were all told during our archetype embodiment, which one felt good to you? How are you going to show up tonight? And I was very much feeling that queen energy. So I was not self-conscious at all. I was just moving and doing what felt good. And it was very cool to see people connect and it feels safe.
Yeah. And be vulnerable and doing all these things and talking and dancing and, the lack of any perceived judgment and just the amount of acceptance and celebration of people and differences and similarities, and all of it was just
so good.
Yeah.
Take me back. I want to go back. Yeah. So then we ended the night, and I think it was Friday night that one of the guys brought his guitar and harmonica and basically did an acoustic session for us the Friday night. It was beautiful too. So Sunday morning, it was time to pack up and go, and
everyone
lots of
had
tears.
A tough time leaving.
Yeah, we had this amazing bubble of incredible, like-hearted people, not just like-minded, like-hearted. Like, we connected on like a soul level with these people, and I highly recommend to anybody looking to explore. Join one of their retreats.
Definitely. And luckily, and this is a good self-care conversation. It doesn't matter if you're coming home from a vacation with your partner or with anyone else, or vacation in general, or you had a really good experience. There is always a letdown.
Yeah.
We have dopamine depletion, or we've used all these neurotransmitters of feel good, these opioid receptors, and they're tired, and there's a letdown. So we have the letdown that happens after these big events, these enjoyable times. And so we have to think about and plan, what are we going to do about this?
Yeah.
If you just don't do anything, you're probably going to feel what would be comparable to depression for a couple of days afterwards. But I think we luckily stayed an extra night in Austin, as did a lot of people. One, because the plane flights were like significantly cheaper on Monday than Sunday.
Yeah.
And so we got together. We had dinner with some of the people we met. We hung out. We
went to Lady Bird Lake that afternoon.
Yeah, and we
were paddleboarding and just hung out and just had us time to kind of help us acclimate and reflect. And water is also very peaceful and grounding, so being around water is nice. And then we had dinner with everybody that night and got to say goodbye and yeah.
And then of course there's plenty of conversations through text or whatever afterwards, and we had some support there. And so just kind of coming out of that bubble in a very gentle way with some resources to reduce the impact of that letdown, which is something that I highly recommend, for any couple or any person that has a really wonderful experience of any sort, to watch for that and to plan for that.
Yeah. Be intentional with when you do travel and stuff like that. Now that I think about it, I'm like, oh man, it is always very hard to come back, to quote unquote reality. And then, trying to do all that, you just jump back in. You're like, okay, I've got to do my laundry and I've got to prepare for this, and I got to go back to work. And we don't allow that space to integrate.
Well, and as we record this last week was 4th of July. And so we got an extra day off. We're all tired because we stayed up late. We did all these things. And then Tuesday, not Monday this year, but Tuesday rolls around and everyone's like, oh, this sucks.
I
got to go to work. I got to do this and all that. So it's definitely something to think about and plan around and take care of yourself.
Yep, for sure.
So
yeah, that's our couples retreat experience. It was incredible.
Very much
far
so.
Exceeded any expectations, and we didn't have any expectations.
Yeah, that's the point, right?
If you don't have expectations, things are a lot more enjoyable, I think. You know what I mean? Like, and so yeah, it was beautiful. Made some lifelong friendships, and again, highly, highly recommend looking into. I think they'll do one next year. They got great feedback from it, and that is something that we plan on facilitating in the near future as well. So
that'll be fun.
If you're local to Kansas City or would like to come to Kansas City, stay tuned.
I love it. There's probably so much we missed and skimmed over, but it was really wonderful in the parts where there was tons of conversations about the experience throughout the whole time. And we didn't talk about it here because they may not have been like noteworthy highlights, but they were highlights. It was just continuous conversation. Phones were forgotten about.
Oh yeah.
Some were even lost for the whole
weekend. Yeah. And it wasn't a requirement. Like they didn't say you have to put your phone away. But again, everybody was in this for the experience. And, we would check our phone in the morning and then the evening time just to make sure our kids were okay. But we've also learned to not call our kids, especially our youngest. She has a hard time,
Yeah, kids, we've found it. I don't know if it might help anyone else, but, and maybe your kids are different, but a lot of times staying away and not FaceTiming or anything when they're under 4 or 3, like it actually just helps them. They don't
out of sight, out of mind. Kind
of. When they see you, it's like, oh my gosh, I miss
you. I miss you. Why aren't you here right now?
Yeah. So,
which allows us to, be in the moment, which is nice and not feel guilty because we know they're taken care of. But yeah, it was great. It was, I don't know, 100 out of 10 recommend.
So good.
All right, guys. Until next time, have a good week.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode, and we'll see you next week.